I don't know. This is not right. This dialogue is the worst I've seen in my life. I think you just watch too much anime, bro. You watch just too much anime. You have to stop with that anime stuff.
She brought a cat to my room, and I have no idea why. So she just walked in.
That was the Mad Queen's daughter. All right, that was the Mad Queen's daughter, and I call her the hunter because she always brings animals to the room. Okay, and I recorded that video yesterday, so it's been a very long time since the Mad Queen showed up in this channel. Because again, you know, she wasn't my pet. She just, you know, hanged around, stayed around. So if you were ever wondering, where is the Mad Queen? Where's the Mad Queen? Where's the Mad Queen? I've been asked this question quite a lot. Well, she is a mother and she has children, and she has 3 or 4, I'm not sure. And this was one of them. This was one of her children. Anyway, today we'll be talking about this one has the worst dialogue I've seen in a while. This story has the worst dialogue I have seen in a while, okay? Okay, so I want to really show you what bad dialogue looks like, all right? And this story starts with a very nice, 3 paragraphs. First of all, this is not necessarily the worst pacing. However, it is the worst dialogue. The mountain forest was quiet as usual in its summer bloom. Birds were busy flying and singing on the tall branches. The sun was heading for its peak as deer were grazing peacefully between the hills and trees at the foot of the mountain. But suddenly, they raised their heads and ears at a distant noise. Something heavy was galloping their way. Branches and twigs were snapping as the noise got closer. They fled. A big male boar rushed through the spot, raking bushes in its wake, letting out grunts with every gallop. Atop its back, a dark-haired boy with clay-brown skin and brown eyes, about 10 years of age, was trying, well, you know, maybe you don't want to start the sentence this way. You could have a semicolon here, or you could try to string both of these sentences together. Anyway, he was trying to hold himself steady with a rope around the boar's head and inside its mouth. He was laughing his lungs away as the animal was speeding downhill through the woods, trying to break free from its unwilling rider. Ha ha! Go, go, go! We're reaching the end! Ha ha ha! And now we come to the problem, okay? We're going to need the Mad Queen to rip this one apart. Because this doesn't work. This doesn't work by any metric. First of all, you write ha 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 instead of describing laughter. You also then use exclamation marks. We know humans are context animals, alright? Humans are very good with context. You don't have to put an exclamation mark everywhere. In fact, your book probably shouldn't need an exclamation mark. Why? Because it indicates if you need an exclamation mark. If I cannot understand that the situation is hectic without you having to use an exclamation mark, then you as an author failed, desperately, terribly. Okay, you failed so badly as a writer, because you're supposed to convey information through context. There's too much to describe. And thus, you need to not describe certain things. Certain things have to be implied. And this is how writing the book always works. I know, for example, when they fled, I don't need an exclamation mark, right? Sorry, I don't have a keyboard, but let me say, for example, this is not my story. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm sorry. But what if I did that? You know, they fled. I know, right? Something heavy was galloping their way. Branches and twigs were snapping as the noise got closer. They fled. Do I need an exclamation mark to know the scatter, the scramble of all these animals that were just relaxing and having fun, quiet as usual, birds flying and singing on tall branches. I know when they fled, it is definitely a busy, scattering, action. It's not something that is calm or relaxing. They want to flee for their life because there is a boy on the back of a boar. Honestly, the dialogue in this story was so bad that I couldn't read past chapter 1. As soon as I ended chapter 1, I stopped. This one, as soon as I ended chapter 1, I was actually very curious and I wanted to know more, because the end of chapter 1 is very tragic for the, wasteland wars, right? Wasteland wars. So, okay, so let me wait. This is not my writing, so, just to be, exactly, yeah. See, I returned it to what it was. So, you see, go, and then another exclamation mark. And then you have, we're reaching the end. Ha ha ha. Sorry, another exclamation mark. Ha ha ha. Another exclamation mark. Green pastures extending all the way up to the mountains on the horizon. His village jutting out in the distance. Again, another problem with this story is you don't have to have 2 paragraphs for this particular information. Okay, if I were to make another edit, again, you would be better off doing this. Why? Because both of these are delivering the same information. When you want to start a new paragraph, you want it mostly to be around, let me do that here. You want it mostly to be around new information. Okay? Now, I promise I didn't do this one, but this one is probably missing a period or comma, something like that. And another problem, the same problem continues. Yes, exclamation mark. Go, exclamation mark. The boy yelled. Okay, maybe you want to diversify your lexical, right? The boy yelled, and the boy yelled again. Okay, yeah, sure. As the boy took a turn around a tree. Ha ha ha, hum. And also, exclamation mark. These things are not supposed to be communicated through dialogue. It just distracts. It's really not necessary. Something in him. And also, by the way, I read to the end of chapter 1. We can keep going. Hey, he managed to shout. Soft galloping drew near. I can keep going. Ha ha ha. You got wrecked. I told you, it was a bad idea. He said as he lifted, Gracon's head to give him some water and an omi herb. And it continues. Yeah, you are right. You are right. Again, the dialogue is too distracting, bro. Gracon mumbled. And also, I think you just watch too much anime, bro. You watch just too much anime. You have to stop with that anime stuff. Exactly. I don't know. This is not right. This dialogue is the worst I've seen in my life. Sil is such a good friend. Finally, this is the first. I remember I took a good sigh of relief, I took a good sigh of relief. This is the first ever direct sentence. This is the first ever direct sentence in a dialogue that is not distracting. Sil is such a good friend. Gracon thought to himself, okay, so maybe you want to put this in Italica. You should put this in Italica, and you should not put quotation, because when you have quotation, this is something that is spoken. And so you have, of course, a small break, and you have this part, which I have read. However, the same problem continues, right? However, I want to get across, it is better. It is slightly better. For example, if we were to look, well, that was a bore. This is a problem, but it's not as bad. Now, this is a tragedy. Haha, sorry. And thank you. I owe you one. How long have I been out? Right? And there's exclamation marks everywhere. But it's not as bad as the first one. As you can see, there is a lot more useful dialogue. Also, please don't use too much of this, because the characters are not pausing all the time, are they? Haha, well, you don't have to pause, right? Well, I should have prepared more. See, it's direct. It's much more direct, you know. And the same problem continues until here. Nice! Exclamation mark. I had to stop. I could not finish this story. 15 years later, I could not keep going. I'm so sorry for not reading further. I cannot. This is too much. So I hope this was really useful for you, and I hope you took something from it. Have a nice day.